I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains. For a long time I've really wanted to see a lot more of this great big sunburnt country, and what better way to do it than in a motorhome. My dear mum, now 73 years old, had long had the same dream of travelling Australia in an RV. And as they say, if not now, when? So we thought, let's do it together, share the costs and go see some sights. First thing we had to do, of course, was find a motorhome. We picked up a 14-year-old second-hand Fiat, the ubiquitous, notorious Ducato, and I set about getting it ready for our adventures. The first thing I had to do, of course, was fit a motorcycle carrier so I could bring along my beloved KTM 690 Enduro. The second thing on the important list of upgrades was the 12-volt system. We didn't want to be worrying about how much power we had on the road. We didn't want to be plugging into caravan parks. So I installed a fairly beefy 480 amp hour lithium system from iTech World with a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, 40 amp DC to DC charger, and 600 watts of solar panels to keep those big lithiums powered. Our first trip was set to be a 3600 kilometre jaunt out into Australia's Outback, all the way to what was once Australia's most remote town, Birdsville, and north from there to Baduri, Boulia, and back through Longreach along the Landsborough Highway. Our first 2 nights on the road were somewhat chilly in the camper van, with the temperatures getting down below zero. Luckily we had enough power to be able to run a small space heater to at least warm the camper van up a bit so we could get up and make our cups of tea in comfort. iTech World Life, rendering a video on the computer, lights galore, and we've got the microwave going, all off grid, no worries. Another frosty one, -2 again. Look at the ice on this light cover. Now, being something of a digital nomad or vlogger, I like to be able to stay connected on the road, and that's where the Starlink comes in. Now, the Starlink does draw about 70 to 100 watts, so having those big lithiums to power that, as well as my desktop PC, is essential. But of course we can't forget the most important part of any 12-volt system, and that's keeping the beers cold. Doesn't seem to matter where you go or what you do, there's always a bunch of power-hungry devices that need charging up. I find it especially important to keep my drone charged up so I can get those cool aerial shots. Then finally it was time to get out on the bike and see some corner country. I absolutely loved it out there. Australia is such a vast country and it's very easy to feel so insignificant, especially on a tiny little motorbike. One thing that really impressed me with the iTech World system was you just didn't even have to think about it. During the day, driving to your next campsite, the alternator would automatically charge up the batteries to full capacity before we even arrived. And if you pulled up somewhere for a while, the sun would take over the charging. We never had any worries with power on this trip, there was always plenty. At one point I made the mistake of leaving the windows down in the cab while we were driving on a dirt road, and a whole bunch of dust got sucked up into the battery cavity under the seat where I keep all the iTech World stuff. Now the batteries themselves are waterproof and dustproof, so they were fine. I was only a little bit worried about the inverter, which has fans, and I was worried about it sucking in dust and stuffing up, but it never missed a beat. It was fine, and I managed to clean all that dust out when I got home. Anyway, I want to thank all you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this short little video. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing and checking out all my other videos. And a massive thanks also to iTech World for sponsoring this video. See you guys on the next adventure. Cheers.